The world needs solutions. The world needs alternatives. The world needs understanding.
Now more than ever, the world needs game changers. Disruptors, mavericks and innovators who rise to the challenge and make the world a better place. At James Cook University, we aim to nurture the next generation of game changers.
Aquaculture is actually intensive agriculture. That means you are growing fish in very intensive conditions, which very much suits Singapore. JCU has had a long history of research in applied aquaculture, and that translates into authentic teaching so that students, when they graduate, they can have the skills to be able to help intensive farming or aquaculture succeed.
As an assistant hatchery manager at a commercial barramundi farm, I'm in charge of the fish health. Since young, I've always been very interested in fish health, and I also aspire to become something like a fish doctor. So I did some research online and I found out that James Cook University is actually very famous for their research in aquaculture and marine biology. During my course in James Cook University, they taught us many techniques, which I was then able to apply when I was working in a fish farm, and then improve the health of the fish, which is what I enjoy doing.
Psychology is basically the scientific study of human thought, feeling and behavior. Obviously, living in the world that we live in today, it's a very, very challenging time. People are suffering in ways that they haven't imagined before. Psychology has a really important role to play in solving those problems and helping people get through these times. There are a number of different reasons why James Cook University's psychology program is really good. Many of our programs are quite rare in Singapore as well, especially our fourth-year programs, whereby you get to do research supervised by full-time leading faculty members. And also our Master of Psychology clinical program as well. It's kind of like quite a special program in Singapore, as there are very few opportunities to study clinical psychology at the professional level in Singapore.
As an apprenticeship program instructor, I plan, manage and also teach vocational and soft skills to my trainees to better equip and prepare them for the future and for a better job. I work collaboratively with allied health professionals and also key industrial partners such as Skechers to provide them a more holistic environment to learn in. So through JCU psychology coursework and also research-based modules, I learned a pretty important psychology concept which is directly relevant to my current work with special needs. And to be honest, when I see them grow and be more independent, it brings me a sense of satisfaction.
In the last few years, the public have become much more aware that the role that businesses have in environmental impacts, and there's a real need on the side of businesses to both appreciate more about what their potential impacts are and work towards mitigating those impacts. And therefore this group was created to bridge that gap between business and science. JCU is recognised internationally as a world leader in environmental science, particularly in the areas of marine biology and biodiversity conservation. The multidisciplinary nature of this programme is very much unique, and students have an opportunity to take part in overseas field courses. They can study on our campuses in Australia, or they can help out with research in the projects that our academics on campus are involved in.
I'm a junior animal care officer in the Fragile Forest at Singapore Zoo. While most of my work involves husbandry and being out in the field, one that I'm currently working on is to implement a behaviour husbandry framework in the Fragile Forest itself. While wildlife has always been a part of me growing up, I've never thought of it as a career. However, I found out about how business and economics affects our natural environment. That's when I found out about JCU's Business and Environmental Science program, and it ticked all the boxes. My most memorable experience with JCU would have to be waking up at 4 AM in Bintan, searching for sea snails, and that was the very first time that I went on a field trip. I did not think that I would enjoy being out on field trips as much as I did, but here I am now, and I thoroughly enjoy working with wildlife and being surrounded by them all the time.
If you're passionate about joining our ranks of game changers, talk to us at James Cook University today.